Hello and welcome to something new that I'm experimenting with. English is my first language, yes. You can call me Pine or Jeff, don't call me Head. And I'm going to be talking about Final Fantasy XIV. And it's because I have a lot of friends who do not want to get into this game because of the MMORPG stigma, right? And the reason why that bothers me is because I was the exact same when I first tried out the trial back in 2016, I think. It was before Stormblood came out, right? And that was when it was the most, I wouldn't say feature complex? No. It was complex back then because you had a whole class, subclass, cross skill type thing, right? But that was 5 years ago. It's been a long time since then, and a lot's changed. So pretty much when my friend last played it, and my other friend recently tried it out, and she also said it's too slow. Anyways, before I completely derail this entire thing, talking point number one was there's this weird stigma for MMORPGs, and it's because of World of Warcraft, right? Everyone thinks, oh wow, World of Warcraft, that game's so old and so boring. But there's a reason why that game has over, 200 million registered players? Warcraft registered players? 200, I was way off the mark. Around 4.88 million as of 2020, right? Okay, so even I gave it a try on multiple occasions. I couldn't get into it because it's one of those super big MMORPGs where they give you so much freedom and I have no idea what to do with it. And because of that whole ideal, a lot of people don't give Final Fantasy XIV the proper try that it deserves. I never gave it the proper try it deserves. So when I first played it, I thought, oh, this is just a really crap WoW clone. Of course, I was wrong. And the reason why I was wrong was because when Stormblood was coming out, they gave us a free trial to play up to level 35 for free completely. And I thought, you know what, I'll give this game another try. And instead of just dipping, I'm gonna go through the entire 35 levels. I didn't. I ended up buying the game at level 20. Because holy crap, everything I thought about this game was completely wrong. It is amazing. And you learn how amazing it is when you first fight your first Primal. Primal being basically a god in the Final Fantasy universe. Anyways, the moment I fought Ifrit, that was the moment I thought, okay, this game is something super special. And that is why it pisses me off whenever people give this game a try and quit within, I don't know, the first hour or so. Literally the first hour. That's usually the time when most people quit, because you know what they say, first impressions are everything. But this one really deserves that chance. It's majority of the people I try to get to play this game, they always quit on the tutorial part, right? I consider from character creation up to first dungeon pretty much the tutorial, because it's teaching you how to play it's teaching you like the storyline of the game, right? And then it's teaching you how to play your class, and then you got to take lessons on how to properly play that class in dungeons, because once you hit that first dungeon, your just brain just explodes. That's like it's role overwhelming, and that is why I love the dungeons in this game. It's like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. Once the pieces are there and you put it together, it just releases serotonins and everything. It's awesome. And that, like, that's why it pisses me off so much whenever people just dip within the first hour. You're not experiencing everything that there has to be. You're experiencing literally the beginning. And I know first impressions is like everything, but you really gotta push through it because you don't even know if you're gonna like it or not, right? So you may as well get that definitive answer and finish pretty much the tutorial before you give it a proper judgment. And the reason why I say that is because I also don't like strategy games, right? Strategy games is like my weakest point, but there's times where I genuinely enjoy them, like Valkyria Chronicles. Not a lot of people played that, but when I played it, holy crap, it was amazing. Anyways, another thing that people complain about is, well, not people, but non-MMORPG players. They complain about the sub, which, fair enough, I did too. I didn't like the whole, oh, you gotta pay to play the game? Come on, like, what is this? But it's 2021. There's that whole, oh, have you heard of the Final Fantasy free trial? That entire, like, it's a meme. But that is also true. You don't need to pay the sub to experience the game anymore. Square Enix pretty much gave you the first 2 expansions for free. That's half the game. Like, as of now, that's half the game. Not in November, where it'll be like a quarter of the game, but that's still a lot. That's over 100 hours worth of content, right? Possibly more, because I'm not even done 100% for A Realm Reborn or Heavensward. But you can't use the sub as a turnoff anymore, because you're pretty much getting half the game. I mean, sure, you'll be restricted off of like friends list and crap like that, or trading, or using Yell, but you can play the game from beginning to mid, all for the price of $0 and free cents. And you have no time limit. You can come back anytime you want. That's like what really blows my mind. And rolling back to the first point where the people keep dipping on the first hour or so, you have 100 hours worth of free game. Why do you quit on the first hour when you haven't even experienced even just a portion of it? You could argue like, oh, it's just not for me, but you don't know that because you're still in the beginning. God. Sorry, this is becoming a rant, but like, please. This is like one of the best games you could ever play, and you're just dipping out on it within the first hour. That's like IGN GameSpot review. Holy. I'm really sorry if I offended anyone. Holy crap. But like, seriously, you need to give this game a try. You're not giving it enough credit. And the reason why I'm saying you're not giving it enough credit is because most people think, oh, because it's an MMORPG, there's no story. All you're really in for it is the community and the raids and the dungeons and blah, 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 blah. But that's where you're also wrong, because it's a Final Fantasy game, right? Uh, I've seen a video about people explaining what Final Fantasy 14 is, and the majority of the people say it's an MMORPG second. I mean, sorry, no, it's an MMO second. It's a JRPG first, and the reason why they say that is because it may be an MMORPG, but it's also a JRPG with one of the finest stories I have ever been told. I'm getting way too passionate for this, holy crap. But it's a Final Fantasy game, and the Final Fantasies are known for like their overarching story, except 15. They're known for their overarching story and the gameplay and graphics, but it's mostly the story. Like Final Fantasy VII Remake recently came out, and that got like supreme mainstream attention because of the story, right? Not the gameplay, not maybe the graphics, but the story. And that is another reason why I think you should give this a non-MMORPG players should give this a try. The story is like, it's extremely casual and it'll hook you like crazy. Freaking one of my first exposures to this game was the Heavensward trailer, and when I first saw that, I was like, holy crap, this is the best thing ever. Look at those look at the setting. It's basically Canada, but there's dragons and the dragoons look freaking awesome. I want to be a dragoon. And so when I downloaded the free trial back in 2016, 2017, I actually mained Lancer for a bit. And, well, I wanted to be a dragoon, but let's just say I ended up becoming a tank more because I like getting in fast for queues. I hate waiting around 30 minutes just to get into a dungeon. But anyways, Heavensward was the reason why I got into this game, and people told me Heavensward was the defining piece of Final Fantasy, and that's what really lets its personality shine. So when I bought the game, I sat there playing through all of A Realm Reborn, dreading every minute of it. I hated it. Okay, I'll just say that. I hated A Realm Reborn. But once you hit Heavensward, holy crap. The game from Heavensward onward is like, this is Final Fantasy. This is better than anything I've seen. No, I'm so sorry, but this is better than any of the Tetsuya Nomura series I have ever played. It's like, it's appropriately dark. It's got super light humor on some occasions. I love the characters. I really love them. So much to the point where a certain character, when they disappear, I was genuinely upset and depressed for a week. I love these characters. The writing is amazing. The story is amazing. And like the set pieces in which you experience these stories is like chef's kiss. It is, oh my god, it's so good. And with story, that also comes with length. And a lot of people, well, my friends specifically, they say Final Fantasy is too slow for my liking, right? I understand that. In the first few hours, yeah, it's pretty slow. It's what turned me off too. And also A Realm Reborn, which thankfully got reworked recently. So, you know, the people who suffered A Realm Reborn to get to Heavensward, those people now have even shorter quests to do for A Realm Reborn, which is awesome. But also, I hate you, because I had to suffer through all of it. Why can't you? Anyways, Yeah, people say that the game is pretty slow story wise. I guess, yeah, it is a JRPG. It does have a really slow startup, and also the gameplay does end up kind of slow at first. But I'm telling you, as you progress through, the more you play through it, it's like the speed just comes in naturally, and you'll actually pick up on when the speed happens, because eventually you're gonna be playing DDR on your keyboard, pretty much trying to dodge all these positionals and AOE's and crap like that. Yeah, it's pretty intense. Holy crap! Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, there's some segments where they can be a bit much. But anyways, yeah, it's not slow, especially like I'm leveling an entirely new tank class right now, Paladin, to level 6. I'm level 60 right now, but one of the recent dungeons that I've done actually, it's like there's so much going on that my brain sort of just blanks out, and I'm pressing every single button I can just to like deal as much damage to this boss and also defend myself and possibly take damage for my teammates, right? Yeah, it gets a bit much. So like you can complain it's too slow, but from what I'm experiencing, hell no, it is. It's not slow. It's like overwhelmingly fast. Like really overwhelmingly fast. I my brain, holy crap. Holy crap. Um so with the recent live service surge in like games such as Warframe slowly did it. Wait, what am I talking about? Warframe was built on it. Warframe was built on it. Destiny was slowly converted into it. Um, Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite. Yeah, all those games, all the games nowadays, even like Rocket League, for example, they became live service and stuff like that. But the thing that I really hate about those games is that they yeah, they're live service, but they butcher it so badly that they end up just drip feeding you all this content and all the cutscenes and crap like that. All the storylines just becomes, what is that word? Secondhand. It's like a, they just toss it in the back and just be like, okay, yeah, here, that's your story. Now go play the damn game. And oh god, that's what I hate about live service, cuz like it's gameplay first, which yeah is important, but then it goes microtransactions, bundles, cosmetics. Those are all one thing. I'm being stupid. Hold up. Microtransactions, challenges, and then I'd assume for like Destiny raid, and then story, right? But I really hate that because I bought this game for the storyline, and you're telling me I'm being drip fed the storyline, and I have to keep coming back. I have to pretty much make a commitment for this just so I can get the whole story, and that's the whole reason why I actually stopped playing Destiny. Well, aside from them deleting like half the content I bought and paid for, but you know, they drip feed the story, and I really hated that, so I ended up just like quitting altogether around the end of Shadowkeep, and I'm just like following along the storyline with other people, like what's his name? Biff? No, wait, hold up, one moment. Yeah, Biff. I just follow along the storyline with that through his channel because like I'm so sick of just being drip fed. I just want the entire story just like that, and that's that's what I love about Final Fantasy. When you buy an expansion, or not even just an expansion, like even the post stuff, right? You get an update every once a month. No, every 3 months after you get an update every 3 months after every expansion. But the way they handled it was instead of having like I'm using Destiny again, but when you buy an expansion in Destiny, you get four missions, four story missions, right? Like let's be honest. And in between those is like a gear grind or a fetch quest and type stuff, right? And then after that, they're just like, okay, go find friends, go do the raid, and then wait for the next story update, which possibly you need to pay for the season pass to do and get the storyline like that. But then once the season pass ends, it's just like you can't do it anymore, right? But that's the thing I love about Final Fantasy. When you buy an expansion, you get like a game. You get the storyline, the length of a game, and it doesn't stop there. Once you got that entire thing done, there's a post expansion quest line. And those post expansion quest lines are also, well, when all of them come out together, they're also as long as the storyline, and it's because they're slowly building up to the next expansion by giving you all these like plot was it they're giving you all this plot heavy storylines along with fights to go along with it, just to slowly ease you in and sort of get you hyped for the next expansion, right? One moment. What was I saying? The storyline. Yeah, the post expansion storyline is like once all of them are clumped together, they equal the size of the size of the expansion storyline, and they give you just as much exposition, gameplay, crap like that. It can get overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie. My girlfriend and I played it, and let's just say it took us a month or so to finally finish both A Realm Reborn and Heavensborn. She's like mentally and physically prepared for Stormblood and onward, right? Crap, I shouldn't have taken that break. I completely forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, even like in other games, sometimes there's like events and other live service tropes that get you to to have the fear of missing out, and you just go in, buy the crap or play the crap, right? And then you just binge play it as much as you can. And the sad thing is, while companies love it when you play their game as much as you do for when those events are up, that actually also contributes to burnout, and that's how you lose players. Burnout is like one of the most ridiculous feelings you'll ever have. You can go from you loving a game so much to just dreading hearing it. And that's pretty much what I had with Rainbow Six. I used to love that game, and then I just quit because like it became too much for a bit. I come back to it every so often because like yeah, it's a really fun game, but the burnout is still there. I can't play it as much as I did before. Same for Destiny. Like the whole fear of missing out thing, kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I got fed up. I can't do it anymore. But Final Fantasy, right? As I'm saying, in an interview with Naoki Yoshida-san, he said, Final Fantasy 14, we respect your time. And a lot of people didn't, well, my friends specifically, again, but also there was some people that sort of mistook that. He said, Final Fantasy 14 respects your time. And the reason why he said that is because aside from the events, you're literally not losing anything. The entire storyline is there. The post-expansion stuff is there. The whole side stories are there. The raids, the blah, blah, blah. Dungeons, side quests, beast tribes. The entire game keeps... it maintains the full integrity 100%, no matter when or where you get in. I just want to say I need more games like that. Like Halo, for example. There's no fear of missing out for that because the battle pass is permanent. I can come back to it anytime I want and just fill out however much I want and then call it a day. It's not gonna go away. It's not gonna go away years from now. I can just come back and do it. And that's what I love about these games. They're not commitments. They're strictly getaways. Oh my god! Hold up. Sorry, I'm listening to background music because it's kind of weird for me to sit and just talk. So I have the Final Fantasy 14 background music playing, and it's playing the Sultana Dreaming, and that sort of hit me as soon as I said commitment, because I have been playing this game since 2017. There's no commitment needed for this game, but I'm giving this game all the commitment I can, because holy crap, man, this is my shit. Anyways, so with Final Fantasy 14 being how many years now? 2013? Hold up. Release date, yeah, 2013. Since this game came out in 2013, there's been literal content's worth of just there's tons. There's a lot of stuff to do ever since then. People would normally say, if I got into it, wouldn't it take too long? You actually don't need to spend that much time playing this game. I mean, I have, because once the game started rolling, I got addicted as hell. But you don't need to play that long. There's people saying, you just spend 1 or 2 hours per day playing this game. You don't need to spend that much time, and you'll be able to finish all the expansions in 1-2 subs, right? Bear in mind, it took me and my girlfriend a month to finish, yeah? A month to finish Heaven's Ward and A Realm Reborn together. Wow. And we've only been playing 2-3 hours. No, not even 2. 1 to 3 hours worth per day. And she's ready for Stormblood, right? You don't need to take that long. It's just main storyline. It's the side stuff and the raids and crap like that. That's the most time consuming, I'd say. And luckily for you, they're optional, with the exception of Crystal Tower, but that's important. Anyways, you don't need that long. It's a JRPG that you can finish beginning to end doing just the storyline. And maybe a duty roulette, stuff like that, just to level, crap like that. Yeah, it's... yeah, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, like I said, you don't need a commitment. You just download the free trial and play. You'll see. If you're worried about the community being toxic and stuff like that, I will warn you that there are a lot of ne'er-do-wells, I guess, bad sports. And it's because when Asmon Gold streamed Final Fantasy XIV, that's what got a bunch of people into, a bunch of World of Warcraft players into Final Fantasy, yeah? And because of that, they've been scaring off like the actual casual players, and it's because they're really hardcore MMORPG players, really hardcore WoW players, and WoW is a fundamentally different game than Final Fantasy, but because it plays so similar, they sort of just like, oh, in World of Warcraft we did this, so you, or no, in World of Warcraft we we min-maxed this raid, so you need to do better. You're the sucky one. Stuff like that, right? World of Warcraft was very solo dependent and stuff like that. So you will run into those players. They are not fun. But don't define the entire community based on those people, because there are a lot of Final Fantasy players who love this game. They love seeing new players and they love teaching them. They're also willing to just like toss them into the free company and have them try to enjoy the game as much as possible. It's very positive and friendly, and it's the main reason why I it's the main reason why I'm like, actually I created a second character in an NA server, because I work in I live in the Japanese data centers because my friends are there, and I didn't want to be left alone. But I have a character in the NA servers just to keep track of my North American free company. They're awesome. They're like positive as hell. And if you go on the subreddit, the Final Fantasy subreddit, you'll see I'm not the only one. A lot of people have been praising the community. Asmon Gold praised the community. And it's because we're very community driven. We're not like solo dependent, even though some of us do want to play solo, right? But there is a very brothers in arms vibe to this, community. And believe me, this next talking point is like something I suffered too. I hate socializing and MMO and socializing in MMOs. There's some people that hate MMOs in general. Why should I play it? And the reason why you should play it is because it's a Final Fantasy game. If you're really into Final Fantasy, you shouldn't skip out on this one just because it's an MMO. It's okay, well, the genre is called MMORPG, but to me and the eyes of many other players, this is an RPG MMO. That meaning, like I said, it's a JRPG first, so you got your like grind, your storyline first, your leveling, stuff like that, and then the MMO is an afterthought. That is the word I should have been using for when I was describing drip-fed content. Anyways, yeah, the storyline is the main thing in this game. It's the reason why you should play this. It is beautiful, engaging, awesome. Gameplay is really good, but the MMO stuff is an afterthought. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, sure, you need to join people in a party for dungeons, right? But that's about the extent of it. The storyline is very single player driven, with dungeons and raids splattered and sprinkled and spewed. I'm so sorry. Spewed around every few quests. just to keep that MMO element up, but it is very much single player driven. What was I gonna say here? I have a friend who dreads MMORPGs, and I keep begging him, dude, you gotta play Final Fantasy XIV. Ignore all the MMO stuff. It's not forced. Well, dungeons and raids, yeah, it's forced upon you, but it's not like burdening. It's really fun, especially when you learn your role and how to contribute to the party. It's galaxy brain inducing. I hate socializing in MMOs. Yeah, I hate socializing too, but once I joined that free company, oh man, everything changed. Everything changed. I guess you could say 14 really helped me grow as a person, you know? Because I used to be like so filled with anxiety and stuff like that. And I still was when I first played 14, but as I played more of it, I ended up, I don't know, like, I'm okay with, I have a lot of social anxiety, especially when it came to like schooling and getting a job and stuff like that. But recently, I've been chatting with complete strangers, and I've been chatting with them like pretty well. And then you have, I also got a job recently, and it's because 14 really helped me learn from my anxieties, especially being a tank main. What's the best way I can put this? Being a tank main dispelled well, not every, but majority of the anxiety I had. And it's because the pressure to keep the party alive, learning from your mistakes, stuff like that. These are life lessons that you can learn from this game. It's really weird when I say that, actually. I learned life lessons from a game, but holy crap, you do from this game taught me that. Majority of WoW people, they would say it taught them how to be an independent person. This taught me how to socialize. It's really bizarre when I say that, but yeah. Oh man, everything's just like it's just popping out of my brain. Wow, this game taught me life lessons. But yeah, like Final Fantasy taught me how to deal with my anxiety, how to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Dungeon runs don't always go so well, and I will take the blame for our wipes, even if it's not my fault. I am the tank. I carry a lot of burden, alongside with the healer. But you know, it's a learning experience. Anyways, oh man, this entire thing just like opened up my brain. Wow. You should play Final Fantasy, viewer or listener. You should play it. Please, like, for the love of God, expel any stigma of this game. Expel the sub turning you off. Expel the stigma of, oh, it's an MMORPG, there's no story. Ignore the it's too slow thing. Forget that there's a FOMO, because there is none. It will take you some time to do, but remember, just 1 or 2 hours is all you need. The community has some bad eggs, but overall they're amazing, and you don't need to socialize, but if you do, it can help you grow as a person. That's all I need to say. Man, 5 years, huh? 5 years, and Naoki Yoshida has become possibly one of the most inspiring people, well, my role model out there, because he took a game of, he took a literal steaming dumpster fire of a game and turned it around in one whole year, and he stuck with it, and he will forever stick with it because he loves it. And I want to be more like that. That is awesome. And Masayoshi Soken, he loves this game so much that he produced the music. He produced the music from last year while in a hospital fighting cancer. And after he fought cancer, he revealed he will continue making music just for the love of this. And that's awesome. Anyways, I've talked on long enough. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much. I don't know how to end these things. This is all still new to me, so thank you for listening. Play Final Fantasy if you possibly can. Give it a chance that it really deserves. And if you did, please, just like, seriously, do give it a chance it deserves. You're probably judging it for too early of, what was it? You're probably judging it far too early than it you really has the time to shine. So, you know, please join us.